There we go. There we go. We should be live now. Hopefully you see me on IG, Facebook, YouTube. Andre, let me know if you see me live. Should be live. I'm trying
I
to be
do.
live on IG more than anything. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, let's get it. One crazy transformation already, and we far from done. I got my brother Andre here, who started with me 2 damn months ago. Brother, please introduce yourself, introduce your job role, and your result, man.
So Andre Ezel up in Mass. I'm an IT professional. I've been working IT for years, and one of the things that's common with this profession, gaining weight. So, unfortunately, I was one of those sufferers. But found Ronnie,
Suffers,
found your program, and
suffers
and
is
and
hilarious,
saw opportunity. Yeah, but
man.
just saw opportunity. Life caused some things to happen, and know that I needed to do something about it. And like I said, found your program, jumped on it, and it's been helpful. It's been helpful. So, like you said, in 2 months, dropped 30, and still got some more work to do, but feels good so far.
All right, so man, tell me where you were 2 months ago, and versus where you are, and how you feel now, man.
Um, well, a bunch of things have changed. I mean, one of the first things you notice, um, the energy changes. So you just got more energy to do stuff. One of the things that kind of surprised me, I mean, I knew it would happen, but I wasn't looking for it. My clothes are fitting different, like radically
Hmm.
different. Like I had to take my belt and cut 2 inches off of it the other day. So stuff like that is what's happening.
So what was you struggling with, man, as far as your health and as far as this weight before you joined?
So the biggest thing, man, is just making yourself a priority. There's so much happening. At my age right now, I'll be 53 this year. Family is everything. Family is important. So you're constantly worrying about everybody else and everything else. So I know there's certain things I need to do for myself. I've been a fairly active guy up until recent years, but that was always secondary to something else that would happen. And so now it's like, you know what? I can't continue to do those things that are important to me if my body and me, if I'm falling down. So,
Yeah.
when I came to that, made that connection, that's what helped me recognize I need to do this change.
And have you had you tried to do this on your own? Like what did you tried in the past to try to fix your weight, bro?
Oh, absolutely. In the last 5 years, I probably bought every piece of exercise equipment I laid my eyes on. And before I started your program, all of them had 2 inches of dust on them
Mm.
because I wasn't doing nothing. Like the idea was in my head, but there was no execution. Bring stuff home because it was a good idea and just did nothing with it, and the habits followed suit. Wasn't eating right and just not spending the time doing the important stuff.
So why is that, bro? Like why weren't you doing it?
Like I said, it was time and focus and not making myself a priority. Everything else in my life was being, at least being treated with more
Being a priority.
importance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, now I wake up and it's like, okay, I gotta do me. And it's just for a different reason. You know, it's one wrong way to do this is just, or a possible wrong way is just to be, hey, it's all about me, all about me, all about me, for no real other reason than stuff that's about me. But that's not really where I'm coming from. I have a lot of other important things and ideas of things that I want to deal with in my life, and a lot of it is family related. But I'm realizing as I get older, as more of these aches and pains that are coming from bad decisions and not following through on my health are going to prevent me from dealing with those things that are important to me.
Hmm.
So that's where I'm coming from right now. That's a driving factor. So it's like, you know what? I got to get up and go for this walk no matter what, because it's only going to help me. And 99% of the time, I feel better anyway. I go for this walk, I feel great afterward. Now I got the energy and the mental clarity to focus on some of these other things.
Yeah, man. So what has helped you the most? Like when you joined, what happened? What did I do? What clicked?
It almost scared me in a way because I forgot about the competitive edge that I had, man. You know, as a youngster, you know, I was always active, always doing something. You know, I got my dad's a Marine, so even at home without the sports, there was always, you know, this physical aspect to how I live. And that got resparked when I joined the program. Like a couple weeks in, it was like I got into a rhythm. And actually, if you had asked me this like a couple weeks ago, I probably wouldn't even have said this. But I'm finding that having a rhythm and making that the priority is what's most important. So when I find that rhythm that works for me, because everybody's gonna be a little different, you know, but you
Yeah.
find that eating rhythm and that rhythm of how and when you exercise, when you are in that, it feels so different than when you're not on it.
Hmm.
And as long as I'm sticking with that, that's just what's helped. That's what helps with the focus. And you almost don't even have to focus on, because I already made a decision. I know what this rhythm's like. That's what I'm gonna stick with. So, so with the last couple of months, I found that, and I found it. I found part of it in the competitiveness of the challenges that you had set up.
Yeah.
So when I got into that, it was like, yo, I can hang, you know, with some of the brothers that was leading the group at the time. And it's like, so I want to be up there with that, you know. So when that came out, it was like, that's all that was on my mind. But again, that's what helped me find that rhythm. And it almost became automatic at a certain point.
That's fire, bro. So what all right, so from a health standpoint, man, what have we changed? What has changed in these last 2 months? Like losing 30 pounds, what's different? Physically, your body, weight, like what's different?
So clothes are fitting different. Size, just overall size is different. Energy's different, and energy is definitely improved, and just the mental clarity to continue to have the focus, like I said, on the things that are important. Going to work, you know, the building that I work in is a few floors. I can ignore the elevator more often now than I could before, where, you know, before it was like, oh man, the stairwell, I walk to the other end of the building just to get on the elevator. Now it's like, ah, stairs ain't no problem. You know, just run upstairs, don't even think about it. So just, you know, more automatic things like that that I'm able to do now. And it's actually changed conversation too. I got a couple
Hmm.
brothers that I wasn't, we're talking about work all the time. Now we talking about health stuff. So that's even changed too. You know, the circle of people that you're around and the things that y'all are talking about and focusing on, that's changed too. So that's another helpful thing.
Fire, bro. So, all right, like why do you okay, let me ask you this. How many years had you been struggling prior to finding me?
A long time, man. Because I've been following you for a while. I first
Yeah.
found you when you had your Black Superman program. So that's when I first found
BSD.
you, and I was like, okay, this brother's legit, and our spirits are kind of, you know, it's something that I need or can work with. But like I said, I didn't really execute. I went to, you know, one of your seminars and kind of listened and was like, yeah, this is cool. but I didn't do nothing with it. It was just
Yeah.
like it was just like, yeah, this sounds good, but I just didn't flip that switch to kick in. So that was that. But the and I think what part of the trigger was this time. So in January, I had that typical, hey, all right, there's a new year, it's gotta be a new me. I gotta do something about that. So that was weighing heavy on my mind, but I still hadn't done anything. In late March, my grandfather passed, and I had
Sorry
to
to hear
go
that, bro.
down to thank you. I had to go down to his funeral. But this was a celebration, man. This is a first death in my family that it is. I was happy for my grandfather because I understood the life that he lived and everything that he gave for the family and stuff. So it wasn't sad at all. Not at least
That's what's
not
up.
for me. It says I'll miss him, but it was, that was the thing. So but at the same time, I spent some time with my parents because my parents live down south where my grandfather was at. When they retired, they moved down there. So I spent a lot of time with my parents. So my father is a former Marine. So we're always talking about everything. My dad's like one of my best friends. We talk about a lot of different things. Health
Yeah.
is one of those things. And it was a day we got in that subject, and I could see the weight of on my father of how I was showing up and the things that he was saying
I
to
remember you
me.
told me this.
And yeah, so that was a big deal to me. That was a big deal to me. So when I got home, that was it. That was the main thing. It's like I'm changing something because I don't want to let my dad down, and that was like just the first thought. So I needed to do something. So that was kind of the final trigger that said, okay, let's
That's
do something.
fire.
Let's do something. Let's do something.
So we down, man, 30 pounds in 60 days. Like what? Give me the one sentence line that means to you, man.
Um, wow. I hadn't really thought about that because I ain't done.
Far from it.
Um,
Let's get it, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still working. The project ain't done. Um, um, Jeez, I don't know. My mind's kind of going blank.
Yeah, that's
Um,
all good.
I don't know. You said something in a conversation that we had previously. You were like, everybody needs to be doing this.
Mm,
Everybody needs to have these elements as a part of their life, and I couldn't agree more. Just to say that this all of what I'm doing right now is something that's been missing in my life for a long time,
yeah,
and it needed to be there, and everybody needs to have it. So it doesn't mean that everybody's going to be the same size and everybody's going to have muscles or whatever. It doesn't mean that, but just having this element gives you something that you can control in your life. And especially in this country, this world, as crazy as things are, and many things we don't have control over, if you have at least one thing, you
yeah.
can endure a lot of other stuff.
So, fire, bro. Final question, man. What would you say to a brother that was in your shoes, right? You're in my orbit. You keep seeing my stuff, and it's just year after year, and we just not pulling the trigger. What would you say to
um Pull the trigger. stop
him?
stop waiting. stop
Let's
stop
get it.
waiting. And as much as I love your program, Ronnie, it's it may not be a fit for everybody. I mean, you are necessary, man. You, like I said, it's, it, it was just a match for me, you
Yeah.
know and that might not be the case for everybody, but I have a hard time imagining the people that do find you are like, nah, I ain't rocking with that brother, man. You know, I can't
Yeah.
see somebody doing that that even has a similar mindset to what I have, knowing that you got life difficulties, you need to make some change, and you need a little help doing that. I can't see somebody looking at you. But my point is that I'm getting to is just that you got to execute and do something. Like I said, you got to grab that control point in your life and not let it go.
Yeah,
And if
man.
you can help do that, that's what's up.
Man, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate that. I definitely didn't ask for that, but I take it. This is a brother that has came into my coaching and did what needed to be done. Did I expect for him to lose 30 pounds in 2 months? No, but it happens, right? It happens. It happens a lot, more often than I've ever been prepared for, especially now, because when you start taking care of yourself, good shit happens to you. And this message is
Yep.
to everyone. Choose to start taking care of yourself. Really good things start to happen to your life. If you're a brother that's struggling with his weight, DC90live.com. Come and apply for my experience, and we'll see if I can help you. Appreciate you, Andre. DOE, brother.
Hey.